everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. A patient at a hospital in Connecticut is proving what's possible after a life-changing injury. The lifelong athlete is now sharing his journey of recovery and resilience. Jim Altman shares Corey's story and the spinal cord injury program that's helping him regain his independence. Take a look.
After a devastating spinal cord injury, Corey is working his way back, and being an extreme athlete, well, that helps.
In high school, I played soccer and basketball. I snowboarded, I wakeboard, I did trail running. I was just very active.
At Gaylord Hospital,
we're gonna do some tall kneel and maybe swing your feet up.
Corey Cologne is making a comeback.
So you're just gonna start crawling forward.
Just months ago, the 34-year-old electrician from Windsor Locks suffered among the most unlikely injuries, incapacitating him entirely.
None of us really know. Christmas Day, I went skiing. I was in the park and I didn't fall at all. I mean, I felt a pop in my neck, but it just felt like a sore muscle. And then woke up Monday morning, I was getting ready for work and I felt a bigger pop in my neck. And then I was in the kitchen and then all of a sudden my left side started going numb, then my right side, and then my legs went numb. And then all of a sudden I just kind of fell down to the floor, paralyzed from the neck down.
After multiple surgeries, Corey's rehab regimen brought him here to Gaylord Hospital.
Good. Try no hands on your thighs.
He's part of the new Spinal Cord Injury Day Treatment Program.
He's doing pretty amazing.
Run by physical therapist Kate Donahue. It's the only one of its kind in Connecticut.
Braces on his legs, but we're working on taking the braces away. He's progressed a pretty incredible amount in the last 8 weeks.
Having your parents come in and cut food, and I couldn't open up my hands. Going from that to being able to cut food again, being able to tie my shoes. Very emotional at times when you could do something that you knew you couldn't do 3 months ago.
It's still unknown if he'll ever walk again, but for Corey, day after day, it's been a mission in regaining his mobility.
Give me a couple laps of that.
One of grit, determination, and motivation.
That's our motto here, think possible. So we try to push to the best of the patient's ability, push them beyond their limits, do as best we can to get them back to where they want to be.
Oh, I plan on playing soccer again. I plan on going snowboarding again. I plan on at least getting 80% of my ability back. Just keep pushing myself. That's all I can do.
In Wallingford, Connecticut, Jim Altman for Featured.
Great story from Jim Altman there. A Maryland janitor is ending a remarkable run at one high school without saying much. He's made a positive impact on thousands of lives. Sean Martinelli has a story.
Before students left Good Counsel High School for summer break, they were given one final assignment, a group project to give the biggest, loudest, rowdiest farewell for their janitor. For 39 years, Mario Gonzalez wiped away students' problems with his personality. Here, high fives and wide-eyed grins were dished out like silverware.
He's the guy. He's that guy. He's Mario.
He's always in the lunchroom. This is his spot, pretty much.
Billy, Billy, Billy.
Oh my God. Yeah, like it's just amazing.
Those words describe a man whose own language is limited. Born premature with cerebral palsy, doctors doubted Mario would survive long after birth.
I always have to say he's my hero.
That's Mario's younger brother, George.
I think it has affected him, the fact that we all got married, we all have kids, and he asked questions. Why couldn't I get married? Just what the opportunity wasn't there.
But this opportunity was. An opportunity for coworkers to become family, for students to become his kids.
What would you say this place has meant to him?
Oh, it's been his life. He found a place where he's special.
For a man who didn't say much, this retirement send-off said it all.
It felt my heart because I was happy. I was happy. This was fitted for him. He deserved it.
As for this assignment, the students clearly had it aced. After all, they had a great teacher, a man who kept their school clean, but showed how to walk away with a legacy that cannot be scrubbed. In Olney, Maryland, Sean Martinelli.
A Georgia woman heard a calling and she answered it with a throttle and a prayer. Here's Hunter King.
Danielle Etheridge had never thrown an event in her life. She never led a pack of riders down a highway either. But when God spoke, she said she listened.
I prayed, and the message that was sent back to me in faith was, do it for Leslie and I'll do the rest.
Leslie Rollins has been Danielle's closest friend for 17 years. In January, a diagnosis changed everything.
I found out in January that I have stage 3 breast cancer. It's invasive ductal carcinoma, and it is HER2 positive.
Leslie could have fallen apart. Instead, she stood firm.
I just took it as, this is going to be part of my testimony, and I just got to walk it out. God has this, and He's going to take care of it, and He's going to carry me the full way.
Danielle took that same faith and put it to work. She walked into 54 local businesses and asked each one to help. Nearly every single one said yes. On the day of the ride, 63 bikers showed up. Strangers became neighbors, and at one point, every single person stopped, joined hands, and prayed.
We all prayed, and we all became one in unity, and that was absolutely amazing.
When the day was done, the community had raised $6,500 in just a few hours. Almost everything donated.
God provided every single thing off of the faith of mustard seed, faith of a mustard seed there. And we just really, truly believe that He's going to continue to provide a way.
A new rider, less than 2 months behind the handlebars, 63 people behind her, and one friend fighting for her life up ahead. Reporting in Gray, Hunter King.
One woman in Texas is in a growing community centered around helping and harvesting. Mark Mullins shares her story.
I live in the North Loop area, so it's like a 30-minute drive usually.
Once a week, on her day off from her serving job, that 30-minute drive lands Lena Bodevsky here, so she can serve in a different way.
If you have the time and you have the ability to, I think it's really important to be involved in your community in whatever way you think is helping people.
Sorting, bagging, and boxing local farm fresh produce.
There's some zucchini, we have grapefruit, what else? Avocado.
For people she has never met who may otherwise go without.
I think at the baseline, food is something everybody should have access to, especially fresh local produce. And in a city, it is harder, especially in certain zip codes.
It's the reason why Lena chose this place in Cedar Creek to give her time and her energy, a mission that aligned with her values and gave her the means to help in some way.
Sometimes if you're working 3 jobs to make ends meet, if you've got a big family, if you don't have a full service grocery store in your neighborhood, and you've got to ride the bus to go to the grocery store, there's a lot of reasons people may have limit to access.
Michelle Akindia is the education director at FarmShare, a nonprofit teaching farm which not only aims to grow young farmers and attract new ones to the field, but also to distribute fresh produce to households around the Austin area.
And in particular, we have a contract with the City of Austin for a program called Fresh for Less, where we do home delivery and we do mobile markets that pop up in underserved neighborhoods that have been identified by the City of Austin as having barriers to food access.
Yeah, so these guys.
That's where Lena's helping hands come in, getting vans stocked for the Fresh for Less program, which serves 22 zip codes in Travis County.
It takes a lot of work to actually get the food from the farm to someone's home. It's the work of getting the food from the soil all the way to someone's plate. And so we really appreciate our volunteers that come out to help with the packing.
The farm covers 13 acres and produces roughly 50,000 pounds of food every year. And being in this space away from the city has allowed Lena to grow her community.
I grew up like in a rural area, so I like being out here. I like talking to everybody who works here.
Lena recognizes in the grand scheme of things here, she's but a small worker bee in a larger hive operation.
And I'm kind of just like a helping hand. So I feel like I'm helping the organization kind of help people, you know, if that makes sense.
But knows the work she puts in and the contributions of everyone at FarmShare is truly making something so sweet.
That was Mark Mullins reporting from Austin, Texas. Now, FarmShare helps more than 830 customers a month in communities which are considered food insecure, with hundreds of monthly home deliveries. And I know those deliveries make such a big difference in those lives. All right, still ahead, have you ever wondered if the green flash as the sun is setting is real? Well, coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to a photographer who won a national award for his photo of the phenomenon. And from Texas to Broadway, a dream is coming true. We'll tell you why one teen refused to give up on her moment. Welcome back. A Texas teen got to check off a major life goal, but as Sean Giggy tells us, it's about the moment and what it meant. That's hard to miss. Take a look.
For as long as she can remember, 17-year-old Lillian Bichonneau has dreamed of performing on Broadway.
Oh my goodness.
A dream that began to fade when she heard that voice. Growing up, someone close to Lillian, someone she trusted, told her she was no good, that she'd never make it, and she should quit singing.
That definitely informed a lot of how I viewed myself. I allowed them to paint my picture for me.
I think this is what I want to do, she told me. She said, but I'm scared.
Her mom, Shannon Bichonneau, says it was hard to hear.
I said, life's too short for you not to chase the thing that sets your heart on fire. And if this is what you want to do, then chase after it with all of your being.
So Lillian started performing here in Louisville at CYT Dallas.
Time after time, I find that I'm struggling
And then,
to tell you what's
last year, encouraged by her mom, entered a contest.
that you'll finally see.
Hundreds of high school performers submitted videos online, but only the top 3 vote getters advanced to perform in the finals on Broadway.
I can't remain quiet anymore.
And Lillian wasn't one of them. Once again, doubt crept in.
There's just so many times that you think, well, what's so special about me?
Still, this year, Lillian entered the contest one more time. But just like last year, she didn't get enough votes to advance. It was discouraging, but not eliminating, because a group of judges, industry experts, select one more finalist based on someone they feel deserved to move on. Lillian, of course, expected it would go to someone else. Until it didn't.
You don't need a roof, but...
You can see Lillian there in the middle, hand over mouth.
A glimmer of hope.
She traveled to New York City to compete in the finals. And although she didn't win, she says she walked away with a far greater reward.
You are special. You are worthy. You are worthy enough without someone telling you you're worthy enough. You just are. And you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Just being you, being exactly who you are, is enough. You are more than enough. More than enough. I can't remain.
Which is always enough. To make your heart sing. In Louisville, I'm Sean Giggy.
Oh, I love that one. It just serves as a reminder to go after what you want, prove it to yourself, and just quiet all of the outside noise. You can do it. Alrighty, now when you look at pictures of nature and wildlife, do you wonder how in the world did they capture that at that moment? Well, an award-winning photographer based in San Diego says it's not as hard as it seems if you're paying attention to your surroundings. Sean Stiles has the story.
San Diego is full of incredible images if you're a photographer, but knowing when and where to be is a different story. I talked to local photographer Jim Grant, whose image was selected by the American Meteorological Society for their annual weather photo competition.
It was a shot of a setting sun with a green flash on top with a sailboat right in the middle of the sun.
That image earned Grant the Grand Prize Award from the AMS in 2024. He'd been following the weather pattern and knew conditions would be just right. He also knew there was plenty of boat traffic between the Ocean Beach Pier and the Mission Bay Channel.
Well, if I can get maybe just at least a good sunset. The sailboat in the image was strictly a bonus, and it strictly was nothing that I did. I was in the right place at the right time. What I would do here is I would kind of probably come down here like this, and I would kind of shoot this right like this, and I'd put some color in it.
Which seems to happen a lot. Just last week, he called me from Children's Pool.
Look down that direction, and hundreds, if not thousands, of pelicans 30 or 40 yards right offshore were migrating towards Children's Pool and just diving like crazy. It was a phenomenal sight. It was like being in a National Geographic movie.
Jim likes to be aware of his surroundings, especially after winter storms looking towards the mountains.
When we sit here and you look across that lifeguard station on a clear day when there's snow in the mountains in San Bernardino, you can see the snow on those mountain peaks over Torrey Pines Cliffs.
Or sometimes it's just stepping back.
Over at Point La Jolla, if you step away several hundred yards and you can shoot back towards that point, big 10, 12-foot waves breaking over that point is really fantastic. Pelicans in flight, obviously I love that. Or sea lions body surfing the waves is a really, really fun shot. I've taken quite a few shots like that. And even sometimes with body surfers in the same wave with the sea lion. Yeah, he's looking, he's hunting, he's on the hunt.
While showing us his gear, which is not the best of the best, he says invest your money in the glass. A pair of ospreys flew by.
So those osprey, they traverse this coastline, and a lot of people just don't see it. You know, they don't see the difference between a seagull and an osprey. But a lot of people, they just walk right past those two osprey flying there. You know, we all saw it, but they didn't see it.
Which is why Jim Grant always seems to be in the right place at the right time when it comes to photography.
Just being situationally aware of, your surroundings and appreciating it.
That was Sean Stiles reporting from California. Coming up next on Featured.
She was like, hey, I think I found cancer.
A screening that likely saved his life. A fire captain in Colorado shares his story about navigating cancer, routine screenings, and the Cancer Trust created just a few years ago that's helping his family. Welcome back. Firefighters spend their careers running into danger, but the greatest threat they face often comes long after the flames are out. The #1 killer of firefighters is cancer. Corey Rose introduces us to one firefighter in Colorado whose cancer was caught because of firehouse screenings.
Every time you go out the door, you know you get to make a difference in somebody's life.
The calling to serve their community runs deep.
It's a pretty special thing to be able to do every day.
The call to run towards danger rather than away.
Just the opportunity to help people.
The call of bravery that runs through their veins.
It's the best thing in the world.
But there's a cost to the call.
It was a pretty unique experience. I'll never forget the day.
Chris Reaver has been a firefighter for nearly 30 years, and recently his department, along with many others, have started to offer free health screenings for firefighters, one he almost missed.
One of the deputies reached out to me and said, Weaver, why aren't you doing the screening? So I went and did the screening, and they actually stopped right in the middle of my screening. She was like, hey, I think I found cancer. And she's like, we need to stop. She made me stand up. She gave me a hug.
He did in fact have testicular cancer.
I'm like, well, I think if you're gonna get a cancer, I think that's a pretty removable one. I think that we're gonna be all right. And she giggled a little bit.
But that was just the start of his journey.
And they went and gave me another PET scan, and they found that it had metastasized into around my kidney, my bladder, and then up into my lungs. So when that happened, So when that happened, it just changed our plan, our family plan for a while. The reason why that's emotional for me is because you watch your numbers just start to go down. You go from this 5 year survivability of like 95% down to 92%, and then to 70%, and then down to like 60% survivability for 5 years. So as you go through those things, it's just emotional.
Every step of the journey the last year has been tough, except one.
We came up with a plan to do the Cancer Trust.
Kevin Reichenbach is president of the Colorado Professional Firefighters Foundation.
It's now called the Colorado Firefighter Heart and Cancer and Behavioral Health Trust. Underneath that, employers could voluntarily pay for their members per member per month to be in that Cancer Trust.
The trust is an immediate payout to the firefighter based on what stage of cancer they're diagnosed with.
It's considered line of duty right away. The minute they get that award, and we get immediate assistance financially to them.
It allows a firefighter a different option than workers' compensation.
Before that, it always went to litigation. Every cancer case was denied until it went to litigation. And some of those court cases lasted a decade. And to know that I don't have to go through that is a pretty big relief, right? And a pretty big relief for my family. Without the Cancer Trust and without frontline screening, I don't even know if I'd be here today.
For now, Chris spends more time than he wants to here.
I was hoping my PET scan would be clear, but it wasn't. And that's unfortunate because I don't know what my future holds as far as where I'm gonna be in 6 months, you know?
The cost of the call. It still requires bravery, but right now it's built on hope for better days ahead.
Are you guys going on a call?
Corey Rose.
All right, coming up after this break, most kids earn extra money with an allowance, but one Pennsylvania middle schooler decided to start his own business instead. How his community helped make that dream possible. Plus, from the baseball diamond to honoring patriots, how a tradition just miles apart brings people together. Hey there, thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. While most kids might look for an allowance to get some extra cash, a middle schooler in Pennsylvania decided to think bigger. Gabrielle Mediak shows us how he started his own business with the help of his community.
Owning a business at just 12 years old is far from typical. And for York County native Kyle Reef Snyder, every streak-free window is a reflection of his hard work.
It feels good. It makes me feel important too because I can manage something on my own.
He started small, cleaning car windows in July of 2024.
I just wanted to start making my own money instead of asking my parents for money constantly.
And over the last 2 years, he's expanded his efforts to cleaning windows for local businesses.
It's more getting more attention from people, and people are helping me.
One of those helpers is business owner Russelina Nolden. She's affectionately known around Central Market in York as Miss Russie.
I was handing out my business cards and she said, "Hi, young man, what are you handing out?" and I showed her.
So then he placed his cards here at my stand where they are always located. And then I had him clean my dessert case. And then I took him to other businesses in the market who had a dessert case or something that he could clean.
Ever since, she's been helping him grow.
And I just kept giving him a little push, like, well, let's learn how to talk to people. Let's learn about networking and building connections with businesses who need you to clean their windows.
She even secured him a uniform with the help of another local business, which has only added to his confidence.
If you want to start your own business, just full commit to it. Don't half commit, just try your hardest.
And for Miss Russi, supporting Kyle is a reminder of what community is all about.
It's not just about cleaning windows, it's about putting a positive outlook on life. That's how I look at it, and hopefully Kyle will spread that.
I love that one from Gabrielle Mediak, reporting from Pennsylvania. Now, Kyle says he has cleaned hundreds of windows already, and he doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. Can't wait to get an update on that young man. Now, just off of Main Street in Moline, Illinois, is a pocket filled with murals. The newest edition is the biggest by far. Jonas Evans shows us how the project is bringing redemption to the artist behind it.
The more the better, I think. Why not look at something beautiful?
Deb Weber drew this mural on her backyard fence.
It just seemed like a fun thing to do, something decorative, something nice that would please a lot of people.
Jose's tire service is just across the street, and after seeing the finished product, owner Hector Almanza took notice as well.
But when she made that, then I said, you know what, I wanna do something big.
And boy, did he.
And I noticed it right away. People stopped when they passed by to look at the paint. I said, wow, and I didn't expect that.
An 80-foot wide mural of the old and new I-74 bridge, a scene of transformation that's reminiscent of the man who was hired to paint the whole thing.
When I got out 2 years ago, I'm a little choked up right now, man. You know, but because I never thought that I would even be able to do anything like this.
James Christian spent 6 years at the Mount Pleasant Correctional Facility.
You have to have a hustle in prison. I'm not a good gambler. You know, I'm not gangbanger. You know, I'm just a regular guy in there. And I do an honest hustle. I draw portraits.
In his 18 months, the prison commissioned Christian to draw over 20 murals. Now that experience is fueling his redemption.
I'm 53 years old, man. You know, starting late again. You know, most of my life is gone. You know, the rest of my life, I want to be able to do what I want to do.
The finished product here is nearly complete, and the public is already loving it.
The mayor from Moline, she was so thankful that he was doing something like that to represent the Quad Cities.
I'm really jazzed up because I've gotten the fanfare and the feedback that's, you know, motivating me to want to keep doing this and keep going.
In Moline, Jonas Evans.
America's pastime always starts with the national anthem, including at one university in Texas. But as Cole Sullivan shows us, honoring the veterans who served our country doesn't stop at the first pitch.
There's nothing more American.
Clear blue skies above, always a great setting here at Horner Ballpark.
Than a night at this ballpark.
So here we go.
The college game plays like any other.
At the knees, strike three.
Ooh, that was a good pitch.
With balls, strikes, and fans who don't always agree.
Right, that looked low.
But at Dallas Baptist University,
I mean, we're patriots. That's what we are.
patriotism goes beyond the mascot.
We've got freedom, but it's not free.
Honoring the flag.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Starts with the stories of the people who served it.
I was in the Navy and spent a couple of tours in Vietnam.
Patrick and Elaine Connor
All right, the two of us.
have something of a DBU love story.
He introduced me to his wife
She's a graduate.
a few years ago.
His late wife was.
It meant so much to her that it meant something to me.
And after Charlene passed,
She died very quickly or soon after she was diagnosed. And she told me I had to take care of Pat.
their love
And she's going to start here lately, pretty soon.
feels closer on campus.
Got a ball and a strike.
Oh, yes.
Oh, DBU, it's home.
And here he goes deep on the first pitch that he's seen.
Sure, a chance to root on the Patriots, but also remember a woman who brought them together.
Well, that's where I'm going to be in the next few years. I earned my spot out there.
because just beyond the ballpark,
yeah, that's her.
Charlene is holding a place for him.
So loved by all and so missed by me.
Love stamped on a stone.
I was like a poet back then.
A symbol of her life and his sacrifice.
People don't know how many people have been in the service until they walk out here and they find out how many's not in there anymore. They're here.
Every day across this sea of pearly marble,
Peace.
another arrives.
Brother Larry left this continent to go be with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ at the age of 72.
And another family says goodbye.
He was surrounded by all of those who loved him.
He's just amazing. I miss him.
Lene Davis's dad.
All the roles he held, his favorite title was Pops.
And he was everyone's Pops.
And Larry Morgan was America's soldier, honored with the Bronze Star with Valor for his service in Vietnam.
And I have so much respect for him and for what he did for us.
Funerals here are about respect. Tradition, too.
Ready, fire!
Honoring patriots.
Fire!
As just over the hill,
Aim! Fire!
they cheer them on.
It was a great start for DBU.
But look past the Cracker Jacks in the crowd.
It'll draw a tear for me. It just means everything.
At this game, America's pastime takes time
Father God in heaven, thank you so much for the man that we knew.
to remember the sacrifice of freedom
In all God's people.
Amen.
and the people who fought for it. As the sound of that sacrifice crests the hill,
it is one of the great traditions in college baseball.
They stop.
the stadium falls silent.
We pause and rise and honor the great men and women who have sacrificed their lives for our country.
I get goosebumps. To this day, I get goosebumps.
As the final salute fades, the game goes on.
Peace.
But the legacy of who made it possible will endure. In the memories we hold close,
I just love him and I miss him and I'll see him again.
and in the places where they rest.
Nice people out here.
Two fields united in a shared love of life, service, and country. In Dallas, I'm Cole Sullivan.
Great story from Cole. Still ahead, a lesson in making space when there isn't room for you. How a Georgia teen is shining on a team of one. And adopt your own avocado tree and get fresh fruit delivered to your door. I want to know how I can sign up. We'll show you how people are helping local farmers in California thrive. Welcome back. Most athletes join a team that already exists, but a gymnast in Georgia decided to build one instead. After a season that tested her in more ways than one, she is now helping create space for other girls to follow right behind her. Erin Johnson has spent years learning how to trust herself in the air, the timing, the strength, the split-second decisions that gymnastics demands. But this season asks something different of her. Here's Caitlin Ross.
Every movement matters in gymnastics. The angle of a landing, the point of a toe, the smallest adjustment can change everything.
You just gotta go for it. There's no hesitation, there's no just stopping to think, you gotta go.
And when Erin goes, the whole gym gets focused.
Everybody in the gym just stops and watches Erin. I mean, she's a fantastic gymnast.
Coach Caitlin Hackney only has one gymnast to focus on this season.
Yeah, just one.
Because Erin Johnson is the Douglas County Gymnastics team, a team of one, built after she asked her school if she could compete for them.
I think at first it was very nerve-wracking, but all of them have been so supportive and welcoming. I mean, they help us like during the meet. They're amazing. We love all of them.
She could have stayed comfortable competing only in club gymnastics.
My high needs to go down and the low bar is fine.
Instead, she asked for something new, not just for herself, but for the girls coming after her too.
All right, let's go, Erin!
Her mom, Joy, says that's exactly who she is.
Courage, resilience, excellence, those are the words that describe Erin.
And this season, resilience meant even more.
It happened on bars, so I'm just like this. I'm like...
Just before competition began, Erin suffered a devastating neck injury.
They said, you know what, is this your daughter? They said, she's a walking miracle. And I said, but God, because she shouldn't be moving, she shouldn't be walking.
But step by step, routine by routine.
You got this? Oh, thank you, Lord.
Erin found her way back to the mat, back to the sport she loves, back to the team she fought to create.
When I say the first.
And next season, that team gets a little bigger.
Okay, so I had this grand idea, right? Yes, that is my little sister, Jamie. Encouraging each other and being there for each other, it's just a great to be with your sister.
Gymnastics is precision. Erin has learned that here too, not just in how she lands.
Proud of you. Woo!
But in how she keeps building something that wasn't there before.
That was Caitlin Ross reporting from Atlanta. Now, Erin says she hopes more students will join the team next season. And what started with one gymnast asking for a chance is already becoming something other girls can step into too. I love that one. Now, how would you like to adopt your own avocado tree? I definitely would. And have some fresh fruit delivered right to your door. Jeff Zevely heads to a farm with a first-of-its-kind program that hopes to help local farmers. Take a look.
Welcome to the nonprofit Heal the Earth, where this avocado tree could have your name on it.
This is next year's harvest that you can see, and this little tree is just loaded.
Chuck Samuelson is passionate about avocados.
Are you kidding me? It's like the perfect food, right?
Chuck is the founder and executive director of the nonprofit Heal the Earth, where you can adopt your very own avocado tree.
It's geotagged, and so you can go into our website, you can actually see your tree.
Chuck thought of the concept in hopes of helping local farmers.
The cost of water has gone up so much in the last couple of decades. Labor costs, everybody knows that, labor costs.
He estimates nearly half of all local avocado farms have gone out of business.
Now 90% of the avocados that are eaten in America every year are foreign avocados, they're imported.
Chuck's farm can't compete with lower water and labor costs, but
the differentiator for us obviously is our avocados are simply better. Local is better, it's more sustainable.
Heal the Earth recently hosted a meet and greet so families could get to know their tree up close and personal. If someone adopts a tree, that's their tree. It's not symbolic. Like this tree right here is adopted to them alone.
Yes, this is Sarah's tree. This is recently adopted. You can see Sarah named her tree Lady Avocadia of Vista Verde. That's the name of Sarah's tree.
You better hurry. The Grove only has 500 total trees to adopt. And even if you're not an avocado fan, you could always gift a tree to that someone special who has everything.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Groundhog's Day, any reason is a good reason to give a gift of an avocado tree.
For $100 a year, your tree comes with a dozen of your avocados delivered right to your door. For $300 a year, this could be your avocado tree, and you'll receive 4 deliveries of 12 organic avocados. Organically grown means no synthetic pesticides, and I'll save you the math. That plan will cost you about $6 an avocado.
For a premium organic locally grown avocado, we think it's worth every penny.
Other plans drop the price to about $4 an avocado. But remember, you're making a difference.
Take small actions when you can. Adopting a local avocado tree, getting local fruit, you're keeping the dollars that you're spending in our local economy.
After all, what's better than the perfect locally grown avocado?
Guacamole, maybe? Not much else.
Which is why Chuck includes a cute sign that reads, "Thanks, a guac for your next party."
Just add beer.
Just add beer. All right. That was Jeff Zevely reporting from San Diego, California. Coming up after the break, tears, cheers, and a milestone achievement. We'll show you how one uncle's emotional reaction is resonating with thousands of people on social media. Stick around. All right, I think you're going to love this one. A graduation ceremony in Florida is capturing hearts nationwide after this viral video you see behind me showed an emotional uncle in Jacksonville celebrating his nephew becoming the first male graduate on both sides of the family to walk across the stage. Jasmine Monroe has the story.
What looked like a typical graduation at William Raines High School quickly became something much deeper. A Florida family is inspiring thousands online after a heartfelt video showed an uncle overcome with emotion while watching his nephew make history.
My nephew, the first boy, man, first male on my mama and dad to walk across the stage.
For this Uncle Antonio Brown, the tears weren't just about graduation day. They were about everything it took to get there.
But seeing him get to finish it and complete it the right way, that really meant a lot to me.
The challenges of growing up in neighborhoods where opportunities felt limited.
I almost quit a couple times.
Why?
I thought I couldn't do it. Thought it was too hard for me.
The pain of watching friends lose their way.
It's a lot of followers out here, and all the followers getting left, they're getting followed to the grave and to the jail yard, you know what I'm saying?
And the pride of seeing the next generation choose a different path.
We gotta make sure they complete the mission, you know? That's our goal. We gotta make sure they finish and do it. If we didn't, they gotta finish.
As his nephew Ty crossed the stage, that diploma became more than a piece of paper. It became a symbol of progress, a symbol of hope, and proof that one achievement can change the trajectory of an entire family.
Seeing like around like my surroundings and stuff, you know, people don't finish school and stuff, so I didn't want to end up how they ended up.
Social media users flooded the comments, many sharing similar stories of becoming first-generation graduates and recognizing the weight of breaking generational barriers. Even rapper Lil Boosie shared his admiration, saying he was proud.
When you turn on the news, you're now going to see your faces.
Yeah, for something positive.
For this West Side family, graduation wasn't the end of the school year. It was the beginning of a new legacy.
I just want to let them know, man, I'm proud of you, man. You did that for me, for the whole family, you heard me?
And a reminder that sometimes the most powerful victories aren't measured by where you start, but the obstacles you overcome to reach the finish line.
No matter how hard I get, I got your back.
It's only up from here.
For sure.
Oh, I love that story from Jasmine Monroe reporting from Florida. Now, Tyon says he hopes to continue this and his education by going to college. And I hope this serves as a reminder to everyone watching this morning that even if you're experiencing some kind of difficulty getting through it, just stick with it. You can do it. And I loved seeing how his family was so supportive of him and this big moment, not only for Tyon, but for their entire family, both sides of the family, as they both said. great ending to this episode. Well, that'll do it for us today here on Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.